Hi, beautiful souls. Today I'd like to share a few words on routine, repetition, and practice. The other day I met this incredible woman who is an acupuncturist, and I had my first acupuncture session. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I said to her, don't you feel like time has sped up? Because this is my experience right now, and the experience of a lot of people is that the time has really, really accelerated, and we're moving in rapid times. And her perspective was quite different. She said, well, yes. She goes, it is if you're in the same routine, doing the same things day to day. And I went, ooh, profound. And so I stopped and I felt that into that, and I thought, well, that even makes it faster. So a while back I was in a workshop with Akasha Azurite, and I remember her saying, now's the time to really change things about, like in your day, in your routine. So if you are getting out of bed, and then you do this and you do that, and then you have your breakfast, and then you wash up your bowl straight away or whatever, she goes, don't do any of it. Deconstruct your whole day, because if you can deconstruct your whole day, she said, then you can start to recreate in a different way, and also remove anything that is stuck within that routine. It's something that you would have to feel into that, rather than just listening to the words that I'm saying and just take that as exactly as it is. Do it, try it, and then feel into it, and you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from, because it actually really, really works. I did do it. And it's really difficult. It's really difficult when you have a routine and you stick to your practice, and then suddenly you stop and you don't wash up your plate afterwards, and you don't pick up something if you've dropped it off the floor, but you just leave it. And this isn't about being messy or dirty, but this is just about retraining yourself and starting a newer routine of a lighter way. And a lot of it can be going back to a lot of the same, but if you want to have a new way of living, you have to break down your routines. A lot of the practices, and I talked about acupuncture earlier, but a lot of the practices in ancient Chinese arts involve practice, and they involve the repetition. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. You finish your form. Let's do this again. You finish your form. Let's do this again. And I love Tai Chi and I love Qigong, but the repetition and the way that it is presented is boring sometimes. Sometimes you just want, like, how can I make this more fun? And how can I make this more dynamic? Because then it's easier to learn. Obviously, repetition helps us to learn. And I think that there's something like, if you do a form like 100 times, then it's easier for you to remember it, because you'll remember it. But even just practicing 100 times, you first of all have to know the form to be able to practice. So I do believe that there's something really, really helpful in all of this. Learning new things, being new ways of being, new practices, new ways of practicing things. We have to deconstruct the old ways that we practice things, deconstruct our old routines, and look for ways to make the routine, our new routines, if you want to call it that, because it's a very 3D word, we have to make them a lot lighter. So how would Archangel Michael go about something like this? Would he even have a routine? How would Jesus sort out a routine? How would Mother Mary deal with a routine? How would she learn? How would Jesus learn something? How would Archangel Raphael go about learning something or navigating his day? How would Archangel Uriel practice things? How would Archangel Jophiel? I'm using these names because it's helpful to go out of yourself, and we are all connected, so we have aspects of all within, but to feel into it, to really get an idea of where you are going. Who do you want to be, how do you want to live? How do you want to expand your time? How do you want to use your time to learn, but for minimum effort, so that you can do more? Because this is the thing that I'm finding at the moment, is that the time is rushing fast. And yes, routines can make it seem faster, as Lucy so very profoundly put. But how can I do the things I want to do with minimum effort? Because it's possible. It's possible right now. It's really, really possible. But we have to hack into these things and work it out. And who better to ask than higher aspects? Lord Lanto, please assist me with this. I mean, Lord Lanto's brilliant, but this is a question I haven't asked him. So I shall be working on this, and because I have had blocks with my Tai Chi lately, because I've just been finding that the repetition is not speaking to me anymore. The repetition has become stagnant and stale, and I need that energy to flow. And when I did my acupuncture the other day with Lucy, I noticed how the streams of energy began to flow in areas where I hadn't even realized that it was down to blocks. And I think those blocks have been there for a long, long time, and without even knowing it. It's fascinating. So just consider your routines, consider your practices and the way that you repeat so that you can learn and break things up, deconstruct everything, and so that you can rebuild it. Because you might find it surprising how less effort it takes. And don't be afraid to call on higher aspects. Call on your highest self. Call on your highest self. Highest self, assist me to have more fun in my day-to-day living. Help me to create ways to learn things with minimum effort. Life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a great joy. We're not supposed to be doing things as boring. God bless you all. Have a lovely day.